Hello. My lighting's a little off today, y'all. My hair is what it is. And we are going to get started. Thank you. Okay, step 3, taken from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions book, okay? So step 3 says, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. And the part is, as we understood Him, is that power that's greater than yourself, okay? This step prepares those who want to recover from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body for the road to freedom. Before we take a thorough look at ourselves and how we've caused most of it, not all of our own problems, well, we cause most of it, if not all of our own problems, we need to make a decision. Do I even want to take a look at myself? Am I really willing to open up all of the wounds, past and present, that I have already endured through my own experiences? Okay, so let's just look at our own one objective first. Our primary goal is to relieve ourselves of a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. How often we've awakened after a week-long bender only to discover we are broke, hungry, and lonely. Okay? So let's start. Let me do this first, y'all. Let's start this meeting, right? Do with the third step prayer, okay? Which is actually very convenient now that we're on the third step. Okay, my name is Katie Marie. Let's start this meeting with the third step prayer. God, I offer myself to Thee, to build with me and to do with me as Thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do Thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of Thy power, Thy love, and Thy way of life. May I do Thy will always. Amen. Okay. Alrighty. Now, back on track. So, the only real question is then, how do I get started? How do I get started taking a look at myself? Okay? Or how do I get started making this decision? Okay? So if you're on the fence, listen to this. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable, which means they have a serious mental condition, and they're incapable of being honest with themselves. They are such unfortunates. Okay, they are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. So, like for me, I take medication for my mental health, and that helps me with this road to recovery. You may be asking yourself, what on earth does honesty have to do with making a decision? The answer is quite simple. If you already have a brand new television in every room of your home and you had to make a decision as to whether or not to get a new television, right? Chances are you will have to be honest with yourself as to whether you need a new television or not. Do you need one? If you have a television in every room of your house, get honest. Do you really need a new television? If you've honestly made a decision to turn away from the rest of the 12 steps because you feel that you don't need them, that is perfectly okay. You've made an honest as honest of a decision that you could possibly make at that moment. If or when you feel later on that the rest of these 12 steps may have some merit to it, it just might get you out of the jam that you are in now. Or perhaps could prevent a major catastrophe from occurring later on. Then so be it. Come back and give it another look. Just remember, no matter how many times you make a decision to start or stop, you could always return with another decision to stop or start. It's just that simple. Many of us us exclaimed, "What an order! I can't go through with it." Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. There are steps, y'all. If you can't stay as close to the principles of the steps, if you just absolutely cannot follow through with it, just cannot do it. Don't worry about it. We're not perfect, okay? And we are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. Okay, so we're going to try these steps. I'm going to try and take a look at myself. That's step 4. But right now, I'm just going to make a decision to do the steps 4 through 12. Okay? I'm just going to make it. Today, I'm just going to make a decision to do a step 4. Okay? I'm going to make a decision to take step 4. Okay? The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The following steps and the principles that govern them have been set forth as a guide to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. With all that we've been through in our lives, it makes clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we are living in a hopeless state of mind and body and cannot manage our own lives. That's step 1. B, that probably no human power can relieve this hopelessness. That's step 2. And C, that a power greater than ourselves can, if he were sought. Or if it were sought. Whatever power. I choose God. This 3rd step prayer says, God, I offer myself to thee to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. Amen. So this is what I want y'all to take away from step 3 today, this meeting, is that you are at a point in your recovery now at step 3, because you did step 1 and 2. Okay, those are the previous videos. You're at a point now where you can actually make a decision for yourself. You can make a decision to stay at step 3 and continue to try and decide what you want to do. Or you can come back next week and just watch step 4 and see how we do it. And maybe you might or may not want to do it. But the only way you're going to know is if you actually listen to what we have to say about step 4. It might be a lot simpler than you think it is. So what I suggest when you're making your decision about this is just stay tuned, subscribe, come back next week, Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m., and see what we have to say. Just come to the meeting anyway, okay? And if you want to go back to the meeting, you can always review the same video, okay? So there's no rush on this. Life is not a rush. It's a journey. There is no destination. So just keep trying every day. Just try to do something different, okay? But you won't know what you're going to need, what you have to do different until you take the steps that help you take a look at yourself and what it is that you are doing wrong, or stuff that you might just want to improve on that nobody sees but you. It's okay. So subscribe today, and please visit our website at tlmsinc.org. Thank you.